had to actually log on.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very sorry, but I have only just realised the Parliament session, and I'm very lucky I got on my computer when I did. So I am rushing to get on to Roblox right now. So this will be fun. This will be very, very fun. So I believe it's PMQ today. However, I do not know the order paper, so I can't tell you that for sure. Just going to copy. Oh fuck! Gotta get the link here. There we are. We're in. Right. We should be good. Brilliant. Right. I'll see if I can get some. So today we have some decent attendance. I believe the Prime Minister's here. Some other guy. This is the former leader of the SDP on top of me.
Lovely attendance tonight.
So sure.
You appear to be missing a lot of government benches and the opposition benches, but nice is that Unity over there.
Oh my god, so sure.
Nice attendance from Unity over there. Unless we're not going to be joined by anyone else. No, there's one person coming. I'll wait. And we'll get tonight underway. Can all members please take their seats? Thank you. Order, order. I call this house to order as it is now 8 o'clock. Thank you for everyone who has attended tonight. We have no clerks this evening, so I'm going to have to read off the order paper as follows. Prime Minister's questions is the first part. A humble address motion by the Prime Minister, urgent questions and statements, and finally a debate on the confidence in the political sector. We're going to start with the PMQs. Can we take question number 1, please?
Number one.
Question
Prime
number
Minister,
1.
please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Earlier today, I had meetings with ministerial colleagues and others, including a convening of the Cabinet and an audience with His Majesty the King. In accordance with my duties in this House, I shall have further such meetings later today.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Can we take question number 1, please?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and once again, it's good to see a bit of activity in this Parliament, because last Parliament was really inactive and rather boring. Anyway, will the Prime Minister inform this House of what he has been up to this week?
Prime Minister.
So, Mr. Speaker, it's been a lovely week. Last week of the term, this year's exams are over for me. It was mock exams, but you got people going into their GCSEs. It was very interesting to watch. So over the course of this week, I don't know, I came back to BUK, curb stomped the party opposite in the polls, became Prime Minister, as you do. Appointed a cabinet who turned out to be really chill guys. I don't know, love these people. Hope to God that King's speech would pass. It did. And now we're really getting a move with things.
Lava NQS, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Going back to the speech I made yesterday, seeing as I informed the Prime Minister in private communications that there is official agreement that the Falkland Islands will be hosting the Commonwealth Summit. What will the Prime Minister do to facilitate this?
Prime Minister.
I didn't get the first part of his question. Could you just clarify? I didn't hear the first part.
I said it in the first part that I let the Prime Minister know of the fact that it's clarified and officially acknowledged that the Falkland Islands will be hosting the Commonwealth Games. So what will the Prime Minister do to facilitate this? And does the Prime Minister have hopes that the United Kingdom will host the next summit?
Prime Minister.
Let me just plug my headphones in really quickly before they die. So yes, I'd like to. So after he gave me that lovely notice yesterday about the fact that the Falklands will be hosting it, I double checked it. and obviously, of course, they are. So to facilitate this,
I need free
as someone
time.
who now my role in the Falklands is meant to be separate to this, but as a developer there, obviously we'll try and facilitate the event, by getting stuff ready for it. Get your seats, get everything ready. As for if I'd like the UK to host it, of course I would. I'd love to see a Commonwealth Summit at Windsor, similar to how a few months ago we had, was it the G11 at Windsor? Something similar to that.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Do we have any more questions towards the Prime Minister for this evening? Member Henry Wiggle, please.
Fucking finally.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This afternoon, the Archbishop of Canterbury resigned. Tremendous shame. So will the Prime Minister join me in thanking the Archbishop for all he has done for the Church and religion itself?
Prime Minister.
Yes, I think his question was about giving them a thanks. Yes, thank you.
I believe that was a question, as you did say. Will you give thanks? Member Benson the Beaver, please.
Can someone transcript me what he's saying? I'm currently switching between Discord and Roblox right now.
The current cabinet is a lot smaller than previous cabinets. Can the Prime Minister explain why he chose to have a small cabinet? Prime Minister, please.
Well, originally it started with the fact that obviously this, the party was a bit of a rush job, but then things settled, and I was thinking, well, do I want to expand it with all these people applying now, or do I want to stick with this small government that I have now? I've come to the realization the small government is the best thing right now, because overextending it is just complicated, useless bureaucracy. For example, if we had a separate DCMS and HMT, complicates things when already registration between media and companies already happens in the same server, and sports can just be handled by ministers if it gets too complicated, and right now it isn't. And as for things like media, that's also not too complicated, so it's being handled by the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, who is already drafting the Commons Bill. That's just an example as well. And as for things like health and social care and transport, which got moved under things like the Treasury, it all works together to make the Treasury a bit more useful, because when you don't have a functioning economic sector, it gives it a lot more use. So small government is the best option right now, and I prefer it a lot.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Benson the Beaver again, please. What will the Prime Minister do to improve the United Kingdom's attendance at UN Security Council and General Assembly meetings? Prime Minister, please.
Well, turn up, I guess. I've turned up for the last 2 Security Council meetings, and we've had, I don't know if someone turned up yesterday for the UNJ because we were all a bit busy, but I believe someone turned up last week as well. I personally have been to both Security Council meetings. I don't know why the member behind him is getting so riled up about it, but we turn up, that's about it.
Order.
We did, we were
opposition
present.
benches.
We were very present, and we've got proof of that.
Thank you. Member Henry Wiggle, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I don't want to sound like a bit of a prick, but we do have a spreadsheet with constituencies, and it's just like sometimes a little bit annoying going member, like name. I'm just being picky anyway. So we've all seen that there's a humble address to get rid of the president of the King's Bench Division, Crooked Matthew E. Wrightson. So will the Prime Minister...
Can
I
I
know
ask
he's gonna
you
say
to
soon
withdraw
is-
the adjective used?
He's not an MP. He doesn't sit in either house, so it's like I can call him what I want. So is this the end of the judicial Holy Trinity deep state?
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, I'll be very real. If it hasn't been caught up, I've been dropping hints here and there. Yes, I'm gonna make sure these people are smited from the earth. Mr. Wrightson, Mr. Crooked Matt Granville and Charles Sutton, I see you in my DMs right now. I won't talk to you personally, and I won't be retracting that humble address. We see what your game is. You did it in PB, you're trying to do it here, and I've had enough. Frankly, David and Tom had it hard enough, and I will make sure that their work is finished. You are a bunch of silly little boys who think that it's fun to have control of the judiciary when it's killing the biggest, most important part of UK, criminal justice, and I will not be having it any longer.
Member Doc Henders, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In my constituency of Hartlepool, we have a child poverty rating of 34%, brought on by the instability of the previous government. So, will the Prime Minister agree to... No, I am not. Will the Prime Minister agree with me to come to Hartlepool and address this dangerous situation for our children brought on by the instability of the last government?
Prime Minister.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I agree with Nick. I mean, the member for
Bloody hell.
I mean the member for Hartlepool. Child poverty, so horrible. I'm gonna abolish it. Actually, we'll make a law. On that, we won't be abolishing it. Actually, we're gonna up it by 1,000%. Wait, are BBC streaming yet? I don't think they got free cam yet, so I don't know if they actually might have caught that.
Yes, we have.
Member Henry Wiggle again, please.
Thank you,
That's
Mr.
loud.
Speaker. In my constituency of
Spardet.
Hertfordshire,
We call
there
that.
is a 57% of illegal migrants coming
Oh
on
my
small
goodness.
boats from small countries like... And we're not going to get
I
banned.
can't move my mouth.
The country above India. So, Mr. Speaker, Prime Minister, how will you end illegal migration and stop the small boats?
Bloody hell.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable friend, the member for Hartlepool, has made a great game called Stop the Boat Simulator. And whilst it's not related to this UK whatsoever, I recommend he go play that because boat stopping is so good. As someone whose grandparents came here directly from India, not in a dinghy but by legal plane, I'm going to pretend they were illegal anyway. How awful, Mr. Speaker. Those. That before any of you, I see the BBC up there. Before any of you try and warn me for this, they did actually come here from India. So those darn Indians giving such terrible prime ministers like me, how horrible!
I agree with Nick.
I agree with Nick.
Member Lavering, QA, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What nation does the Prime Minister have in mind for future alliances?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I confirmed this yesterday at State Opening. Commonwealth nations will be priority, as there is already a section of the Charter guaranteeing mutual defence in case it's needed. So I think there are great start in getting more individual alliances made, and then outside of that, we're reaching out to nations who we can clearly see share our values.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Benson the Beaver, please. The Prime Minister mentioned earlier that there is not a functioning economic sector. What steps is the government taking to progress towards a more functioning economy? Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, well, I'll tell you what, we're certainly doing more than his imaginary nullified budget from last term. Pathetic, Mr. Speaker. It got nullified and then he did nothing else for the rest of his term. And the man in the pink suit, the Chancellor of Exchequer, knows that because we were laughing yesterday. We were saying to each other, how funny. No, on a serious note, in terms of economic sector, look, I don't know why they're even trying, because last term, when I was last Prime Minister, I made it clear that a functioning economy in this current version is nigh impossible, especially when we're not able to get proper tax systems made that aren't just manual begging people on our knees, shilling ourselves out to them to get taxes made for some imaginary economy. A working economy is going to be planned for V4, which is why I'm constantly in communication with the dev team about, okay, these businesses need to go in, we want these taxes implemented. That's what we're going to do to get a functioning economy. It's for the future, okay? We're thinking long past this current game and this ministry. In terms of right now, at most we can just try and unify the private sector through encouraging the CBI to start doing conferences and through giving them the publicity they need through Business Feed. I'll just reiterate this very clearly for him. We cannot, I'd love to, if I could, as someone who's loved the Treasury, sorry other people who's not the Treasury, but we really can't get a functioning economy until V4 because of how old V3 is. The scripts are so out of date, it'd be impossible to get any sort of taxes implemented. It'd be horrible to get money flowing, and it's already tough as it is to get a business put in game. V4 is just our better option. So we're planning for the future, for the long term. So when in a few months, or God knows when it will be, when V4 comes out, whether it's me in office or not, the government then will be able to go, well, Raj's government left pretty good groundwork by working with devs to get an economy sorted, so then that can get functioning then. So we're thinking long term.
Yes, very good. I agree with Nick.
I agree with Nick.
Member, I'm not a noob. Okay, please.
Yes, he is.
This is his leadership bid right here.
Order.
Oh, I agree with Nick.
Order.
Confirmed.
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, I think it's a bunch of, as Chuck McGill said in the great show Better Call Saul, a bunch of chicanery. It's all just NLP-led woke chicanery, because I've not seen one fun fair led by someone who isn't in the NLP. They're getting their muddy hands all over the private sector, gripping it by its throat, looking at the eyes and saying, I want fun fairs. And that's about it.
Point of order, please. Thank you for notifying the House. Member Doc Henders, please.
Right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Prime Minister agree with me that it is completely undesirable to come to this chamber inebriated on cannabis?
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, what a load of malarkey.
I agree with Nick.
Before we get on to the next question, can I put out a statement towards member Henry Wiggle as the state opening? That's not the right word. The
Standing orders.
standing orders. That's the one. The standing order dictates no more than 3 outfit changes. You are on your 3. I have been watching.
Jeez.
No more after the cheese suit. Thank you very much.
That's cheesy.
We will take your question now, member Henry Wiggle.
Mr. Speaker, a couple of weeks ago, I can say his name here, the King met with the Vatican, arguably the most important country in the whole of the world, other than the UK, and yeah. So will the Prime Minister speak to the Holy Father, Papa, Pius something? Yeah.
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, as a seasoned Catholic, sure, I'd love to meet the Pope someday. The big cheese, as they say. Yes, that's a reference to your suit. The man with the hat. I had a lot of other Pope references, but I think it's going to take up too much time.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member... Hold on, let me get your username. Frigging camera in the way. Member... Captain Proudmore, please. Does the Prime Minister know whether the already registered CBI company is being sold for personal gain by the current owner rather than giving up the name? Prime Minister, please.
Yes.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Lava NQS, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the Prime Minister join me in supporting the stop of partisanship from other nations into the United Kingdom by having high-profile members of other nations hold important roles in our system?
Prime Minister, please.
Sorry, I was focused on my DMs checking. Was he on about supporting? Could you repeat the question? Sorry.
Member, can you please repeat the question?
Yes. Will the Prime Minister join me in stopping in proposing the stoppage of partisanship from other nations into our system? Since right now there are many individuals that hold high offices in other nations that are working in our intelligence systems and army systems.
Prime Minister, please.
It does slightly concern me, and the government will be looking into it soon about what can be done, because we don't want to do a complete, we're flat out banning foreign individuals from participating here because it kind of kills activity. But at least something that says, hey guys, don't be doing any naughty stuff. You know, you can work here, but don't do anything suspicious.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Doc Henders, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to inform this House of Mayor Ben Houchin of the Tees Valley Combined Authority, who is currently embroiled in many scandals involving dodgy deals with dodgy companies. Can I get the Prime Minister's view on this complete corruption scandal?
Prime Minister, please.
No comment.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Henry Wiggle again, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 1 week ago, it was confirmed by the tabloids that the Prime Minister was, and I quote, "Anyway, I'm a goon. Does this mean that the Prime Minister supports Arsenal Football Club?"
No.
Prime
Mr.
Minister,
Speaker.
please.
Mr. Speaker, what a load of malarkey. I contacted the news themselves saying, don't spread. It's the fake news edit again. I can say one thing. Up the claret.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Remember, I'm okay, not a noob, please.
Mr. Speaker, I've been informed that the UK has been absent from the past 3 UN General Assemblies. Does the Prime Minister plan on improving UNGA attendance?
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, have I got news for you or for the member opposite? Yes, we just hired 4 new ambassadors today, one of which will be tried as our new United Nations representative, which I hope will immediately send a spike in our activity, because whilst I'll admit I'm a more domestically focused PM with things like Met issues and stuff going on right now, I always know that the UN needs us there to be represented. So sorry, it's burped. With us getting a new ambassador, I hope to see a major spike from 0% to 100%. And also, may I note, only 1 UNGA session has been under this government. The last 2 where they haven't been attending was under the NLP Unionist Coalition.
Crucial.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Member Henry Wiggle, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the Prime Minister and his government recognise the sovereign nation of Dagestan?
Prime Minister, please.
That's it.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Do we have any more questions for tonight's PMQs? Member Lava in QS, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I know that this will be discussed more during the journal debate, but what solution does the Prime Minister propose to make sure that our parliament stays active and doesn't end up like last terms?
Tung tung tung.
Order. Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, just look at it today. We've got a nice looking row of colourful people, not in terms of skin colour, obviously. We've literally killed DUI. We've killed DUI, Mr. Speaker, it's in the ground. But clothingly colourful people, colourfully clothed people on the government benches. We've got a man with a great red suit, a big green, well, not green, a lovely yellow cheese suit on the other side. One of them looks like Saul Goodman. I don't even know why, but anyway, what I'm saying is activity so back. Yes, we do have a gradient on our front bench, and if it isn't fair enough, activity is going to stay back. But in a serious tone, it's up to the individual party leaders. If you want activity, you have to put the effort in. Like for the next leader again.
Order! What is that noise?
It must have been the wind. Anyway, so as for the opposition, for the next leader of the NLP, they've got to work on getting their activity up. That's not my concern. That's for them. Same goes for Unity and the Unionists, but I wish them all the best of luck, because if faith wants to be restored, so does activity.
Unicide.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Do we have any more questions for tonight's PMQs?
No.
Going once, going twice. Sold. There's no more questions. Next up on the order paper, we have the humble address motion by the Prime Minister. Can we take the Prime Minister, please?
Mr. Speaker, I'll get real with you now, because usually some people would read the text, some people give a nice statement on it. The TLDR of this is basically... Hold on, where did I put it down? Because this was like a very last second thing, if you didn't notice. Just a moment. Here it is. So, there is a specific mechanism in the Senior Courts Act 1981 allowing me to do this. So before anyone tries to come up here and be like, why are you doing this? I'm saying this is good. My actual reason is because a certain man, which we're trying to remove, we believe he's involved in, now, get yourself ready for this, corrupt practices. Shock from the audience.
Look at that.
And that he's responsible for the judiciary grounding to a halt. Have you noticed how in the past few months, even before my other ministry, there's been zero progress in the judiciary? It's because of certain people. Hold on, let me see if they're listening in here.
Crooked Matt, Crooked Charles Sutherland.
Yeah, they're in here. I think they're in here because of Crooked Matt Granville, Crooked Charles Sutherland, and Matt Wrightson, and then some other people. And I know you're listening, Charles. I'm sick of your crap. I withdraw. I'm genuinely getting sick. I'm getting really sick of you because they've been clogging up the judiciary for so long. No progress has been made. It's like a pathetic little deep state. And I hate saying the word deep state because it's pathetic. Pretending that you're better than other people because you and some other friends have got some control over a tiny Lego ministry that is nothing in comparison to the grand scale of this universe. Okay,
Genocide.
I will make sure that once this man is removed, it is the first step in the right direction of removing the clog. It's like a toilet that's been clogged up for months. It's like when your bathtub gets like too much hair down the drain, and when you're having a shower, it just begins to flood, and you got like a little pond going on. Right? Sometimes, sometimes you got to put some buster down there, and you got to bust it out, and you got to unclog it. That's what we're going to do to the Ministry of Justice, and it's the first step towards that.
I've been notified. Order. I've been notified by the clerk that some unparliamentary language was used by the Prime Minister within the address. I'm going to have to ask the Prime Minister to please withdraw.
I withdrew it. If it was crap, I withdrew it, and I withdrew it again.
Thank you for withdrawing it again. Thank you, Prime Minister.
No problem.
The address has been made. Now we go on to the urgent questions and statements, please. Can we take the first urgent question?
Point of order. We vote on it. We vote on the
We vote. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. The question is put to this House on the address made by the Prime Minister. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Please can we put the ayes in the game so I can actually check? Yeah, it's very clear.
Bipartisan.
The ayes have it. Now, moving on to the third part of the order paper tonight, we have the urgent questions and statements. Can we have the first urgent question or statement? Member Henry Wiggle, please.
I have an urgent question to the Minister of State for the Cabinet Office, Palpatine. He is there. Mr. Cabinet Office Minister, what is your favourite cabinet?
A member for the Cabinet Office, please.
Member?
Sorry, Minister for the Cabinet Office, please. Can we keep questions relevant as well, please, towards political stuff? Not getting to know people.
Good man.
Point of order from Doc Henders, please.
Mr. Speaker, I do believe that the honourable member opposite me has named another member of this House that's very, very naughty. Seek your advice on the matter of this naughty man.
I withdraw. I'm sorry.
Withdraw, Mr. Henry Wiggle.
Yeah, I withdrew.
Good. Any more questions or statements? Member Lava NQS, please.
Question to either the Foreign Secretary or the Prime Minister, if the Foreign Secretary is here. Does the United Kingdom have plans of appointing judges to the International Court of Justice as there is currently an opening?
Either member, please.
I'll just answer that one.
Prime Minister.
So, I'll just say I believe because of the language barrier. Obviously, I understand it's hard to speak English. I'm struggling to understand a bit of the words. That's not his fault. It's not easy to learn another language. Was his question about us getting judged on the ICJ?
Yeah, maybe I should have thrown my gum out. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, the question was if the UK plans to have judges on the International Court of Justice, as there's currently an opening.
Prime Minister, please.
Mr. Speaker, I'd love that. But first, I need to make sure judges that go on there are not ones who have the same ideology as people like Crooked Matt Granville and Crooked Charles Palmer. These people eradicated our society by it being put on there. These people not just eradicated. Yeah, he just crossed the floor, by the way. That's authorized. But yeah, we need these people gone before we get people in the ICJ like that. Because otherwise, that's going to be a big whoopsie when we put people on there and then we realised, it's someone like Crooked Matt Granville who's now got a win on international law. That would be really, really terrible, though. So yeah, I'd love to do that, but we need to make sure that the person that goes on there is actually good.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Can I ask member Darius Sin why you crossed the bench?
He moved. He's a member for South Yorkshire.
Member for South Yorkshire. Why did you cross the benches?
Because NLP is falling apart again.
He's actually moved. It's very.
Please.
Leeds is falling apart again.
I crossed to the other side due to changing parties.
If
Yeah,
that's
he did
okay.
actually change party. Like, it's been sent to the
Indeed,
clerk.
it's mid.
It is
Sit
falling
that's-
apart again.
That's a disgrace. Sit down.
What? He can do
Sit
that?
down. Thank
He
you.
can do that.
What?
Member of Parliament opposite, shut up.
Do we have any more urgent questions or statements?
Leeds is
Why
falling
Oh,
apart
nice.
again.
Great. Oh, thanks, Roger. Well, thanks, Sam.
The NLP.
Is there no more questions?
No.
No. Thank you very much, whoever said that then. We're going on to the adjournment debate now. It is a debate on the confidence in the political sector. Can we take the first point of debate, please? Prime Minister, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As I said earlier, it's mainly up to the party to solve their issue. But I feel like when this comes to the actual confidence in the political sector, I think this goes back a few months where there's been, not to name any names, right? But there was this little friend group called the Fat Cats. And it went from...
What?
It obviously went from a nice little group chat of friends to a lovely server because there was a lot of friends. And then a certain man, I don't know, maybe his name might be Opsies, I'm just guessing, might have been in there and then become Prime Minister. And then he may have turned it into, I don't know, a bit of a hub for government communications. And then that's definitely slowly spiraled into a massive issue of people there being only government ministers and being very, very edgy and racist and gooning a lot. Don't hold me to account that last remark. But the main point is people
Not
like those.
true.
Yeah. I wonder. Some people, you know, I wouldn't like you. But yeah, so, you know, it's not very good to have that completely undermine the public's confidence in the political sector. And I think when you have, like, I think it was almost like 30 or 40 people on a poll saying that they have no more confidence in the political sector, especially after the NLP, like, floated around the idea of monking us even before the King's Speech had even been passed, I think it says a lot. So I think if we want to restore confidence, we really have to sharpen up, guys. I've been joking a lot today, but we have to not only return a bit of that, you know, feel-good comedy to real politics, but also that feeling of seriousness and actually thinking, how would this work in real life? How would this work on here? Like, if we were going to monk someone, we'd need a real justifiable reason and not just because of our personal hatred for someone. If we're going to say this, say that, turn up, not turn up, it's really down to either how the party wants to treat themselves, their MPs, or how MPs themselves want to, well, show themselves in public. That's basically it for confidence. If the public see a political sector that's acting as it should be, not just keeping things with a straight face, like stood up, socks pulled up, really boring and stuff, people won't be too interested. But if people are going with the flow and still doing their jobs properly, then I don't think the public will mind too much, and they'll feel like, yeah, I like these people. I feel like if I selected any of these parties, they'd be good at governing.
Thank you, Prime Minister. Can we take Toxic Spiders, please?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In terms of confidence, our government, ever since it was elected with a majority in vote share, we have been returning frizz back to the country, and we will intend to continue giving that frizz to the political sector.
So true. Hey, guys.
Thank you, Toxic Spiders. Member Henry Wiggle, please stay in your
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Once again, the main opposition party, NLP, failing to do their jobs in holding the government to account. You know, it's bad when Unity and Unionists have to do all the heavy lifting because these lazy goons over there, these two fellas, can't be bothered to do anything.
With
What? What did I say?
I don't know who you're referencing to, but I will not have it in my house.
What did I say?
You referenced someone being a goon.
Yeah.
I withdrawn.
Thank you, member. Do we have any more points of debate? No one. Thank you. The question is now put to the House that we vote on the debate.
Wait, you don't need to vote on the debate.
No, you don't. Right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Thank
adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
Saving me the job.
What?
Whoever keeps doing that, please stop it. Thank
Come to
you.
motion to adjourn.
The question is put to this House that we adjourn All those
Aye.
in favour say aye.
Yes.
On the
Aye.
contrary, no.
Ow.
Yeah,
But-
so
but aye,
true.
you don't have to be sat here.
It's clear. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Order, order. This house is now adjourned.
Smashing day.
That
Welcome
was
aboard.
the-
Right, I'll just get you rolled in the server.
Interesting.
Okay, guys. Great day, great session, great PMQs. I'll see you all on Tuesday.
That is the BBC. So that was a decent session. I thought some very good questions by the opposition to the PM there. The humble address obviously passed, and there was no bills, but it is just the start of the term. I'm sure more bills will come forward. Interestingly, a petition has been put forward within the session, so the public can view order paper beforehand, which will be an interesting thing for transparency in Parliament. So we'll see how that progresses. But this is BBC News. Thank you for watching, and have a great night.